What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thursday night, January 23rd. We're going to be working on some range of motion and flexibility. So pain and injury prevention or pain and injury elimination. Obviously, in golf fitness and in life in general, we have strength, we have conditioning, we have cardio fitness, and then we have flexibility. And tonight we're going to be talking about flexibility to a standard range of motion, kind of like when you were a kid, there was a neutral point, you had this amazing flexibility. Hello, Brian. Hello, Dennis. What's going on out there? So we're going to look at the science behind flexibility. There's a building phase, and in the post here, if you look at the notes, it talks about the building phase. During the building phase, it might take you 5 hours, it might take you 100 hours, but the building phase is for every stretch that we do, we're going to hold it for 2 minutes in that stretch for 2 minutes, and then immediately you're going to come out of it slowly in aches and pains and making noise, and you're going to lay down your back for a full minute, let the blood flow back to the joints and to the muscles. So tonight there's 24 range of motion. Tonight I'm gonna cover 15 of the lower body, and you're not gonna do 15 because some of them are more advanced. I'm gonna go through all 15 and demonstrate them on this call so we have it recorded and you can see them. And then at the end, I'll give you some ones that you can start off with to get a base. So the first thing you do before you do anything is standing calf lean. You want to stretch out your calves because there's certain things you're going to be using in certain stretches you don't want cramping. So let me get this set up back here. So what I got, you can get a stair, you can do something that you can basically just get your feet. So I'm going to put my feet on these two dumbbells, and I'm going to stretch out my calves. The first thing I do before I do this entire range of motion, whether it's lower body or upper body, is I want to stretch out my calves and the arches of my feet. And so typically I would hold this calf stretch for about 2 minutes. So just for 30, 60 seconds on this training, I'm going to just keep stretching out my calves. And just to get a better view, I have a dumbbell here, 2 dumbbells here. I put my foot up on it like this. And I really just want to stretch out my calves. So the first thing before you do any of this range of motion is stretch out your calf muscles and the arches of your feet. That's the first demonstration. So we're going to get in the first exercise. It's the sit, cross, lean. Here. So I'm going to demonstrate it from 2 side views. First of all, straight on, I'm going to sit cross, Indian style like this. Now when I first did these range of motion building phase, just to sit like this, it hurt my knees and my ankles. So some of you are not going to be able to cross your legs. That's okay. Just attempt to work at it. So you get your legs crossed, and you're going to feel pain in your ankles and your knee joints. And then when I first started, this is as far as I can go down because of my lower back. But the sit, cross, lean this is the position. We're going to sit cross, and we're going to lean far as we can go, and we're going to hold it for 2 minutes. Now, since I'm past the building phase, just the maintenance phase, I can now hold this stretch and touch my head to the ground. This is the sit, cross, lean. You're going to want to do this stretch for 2 minutes. So you can set a timer, and if this is as far as you can go, you can stay here and never get past a pain of 7 out of 10. You don't want to go, you don't want to get any pain. So if you get to a 7 out of 10 in the pain level, just stop at 7. And then if you get this as far as you go, you hold it there for 2 minutes. And once you're done with the stretch for 2 minutes, then you would come out of it and lay flat on your back And when you come out of that stretch, you're probably going to feel soreness in your ankles and your knees, and so you want that blood to flow into those joints and muscles. So you lay on your back for a full minute. So sit, cross, lean. I'm going to sit, cross, I'm going to lean forward, and I'm going to hold this stretch, open up my lumbar and lower back. And then you're going to lay down for a minute. And you can do that, if you can do that for 3 sets, you know, you're gonna start to get to a point where if you start here, it hurts just doing this. Well, in 6 weeks from today, if you keep doing it every day or every other day, or do it for 3 days and take 2 days off and do it again, you'll get to a point where you have good flexibility in your lower back. So that's a sit, cross, lean. Hello, Alan, and hello, James Anderson. So we're doing the range of motion tonight and flexibility. So the next one, number 3, is the sit, cross, lean to the side. So I'm going to sit, cross, just like this. I'm going to put my elbow flat on the ground. I'll let my neck lean naturally about 20 degrees. And I'm going to press down this leg here, and I'm going to lean and stretch out the obliques, the hips. This is a sit, cross, lean side. And you would hold this stretch for 2 minutes. Never go past the pain of 7 out of 10. And then you come to the other side, put your arm down here. This side's a little bit more tighter for me. Leave my head to the side, I'm going to press down my leg here and really stretch out this whole side. Sit, cross, lean to the side bend. And you hold this stretch for 2 minutes. And then after the 2 minute timer goes off, you definitely want to lay back in the dead zone. And you let all the blood flow to the joints and muscles for a minute. So as you can see in the instructions of this video, I've got all the steps to do. Obviously, you start with the calf stretch. I've listed all 24 range of motions. Tonight we're going to be covering the lower body. And the building phase is 2 minutes holding the stretch, 1 minute in the dead zone, that's laying flat on your back and letting the blood flow to the joints and muscles. So we've got the sit, cross, lean. We get the sit, cross, lean to the side. And now we're going to do the sit, groin, lean. I'm going to demonstrate all of this. This is more advanced, and you probably won't be doing this until you're able to do the sit, cross, lean and touch your head to the ground. Okay? So the sit, groin, lean is I'm going to put my feet together this way, put my hands on here, and I'm going to lean forward. And we're opening up the groin pretty good here. From the side view, I still have limited range of motion in my groin. If I had not, I would be able to touch my head to the ground. So you hold this sit, groin, lean for 2 minutes. And after 2 minute timer's up, you would lay slowly back in the dead zone and let that blood flow to those joints and muscles. At any point you get pain, do not go past the pain level of 7 out of 10. This is the building phase, and we're just going to build to a new standard of range of motion. So we've covered the sit, cross, lean to the side, and sit, groin, lean. This covers a lot of the IT band. We're going to get into the IT band, but it covers a lot of the lumbar flexion here. So the next one is called the windshield wiper. The windshield wiper, we're going to cover a lot of the glute and the IT bands. So from face on, I'll leave you to the side here. From the side view first, bring my feet close to my butt, and I can position my legs this way. And so my hands are out to the side. Bring both legs this way. Pull my bottom leg up and place it on top. There. I'll demonstrate it from face on. drop to one side, pull the bottom leg out, put it on top of that leg, and I put my hand on this leg to push down. This is going to stretch out all this in here. IT, TFL, lower back, hips, obliques. You would hold this for 2 minutes, never going past the pain of 7 out of 10. After 2 minutes, you can come in the dead zone, or you can immediately go to the other side. Keeping your shoulder blade on the ground. And the more weight that I put on that leg, if I put my ankle on the knee or if I put my leg on the knee, you'll feel different stretches in this region of the body. This is called the windshield wiper. Stretching out the glutes, the IT band, the obliques. And then you lay in the dead zone for a minute. I'll do it from the side view again. Just drop my legs to one side, pull the bottom leg out, put it on top of the knee, put it on the top of the leg, and just stretch that entire region out right there. That's the windshield wiper. You're going to be in that for 2 minutes on and a minute in dead zone. So for people just joining, like I said, we're going to do 15 range of motion for the lower body. Any questions so far when it comes to the sit cross lean, the sit cross lean to the side, sit groin lean, and the windshield wiper? Now the windshield wiper is a little bit more advanced. The next one is the lie leg over. So you guys are going to do a lot of this one. Just going to have my legs like this. I'm going to pull up the leg here, bend it. I'm going to lie it right over like this. So lying down with the leg over. So from the other foot, bring up the leg, lie it right over the top here. I'm stretching out this entire region here in the lower body. I'll do it from the side view. Bring one leg up to here, lie it over, shoulder blade on the ground. Every single one of these stretches, you're going to hold for 2 minutes in the building phase. We're continuing to build to a normal range of motion to when you're younger. And then I would lay in the dead zone for a minute, switch legs, leg lie over. So the leg lie over is what you guys be doing to start, and then you can just couple right on top of that the windshield wiper. This next one is the lie arch up. If you have lower back pain, you might not want to do this one. This is more of the advanced. So I'm just going to lie down here with my hands right near my chest. And I'm going to lie and arch up. And then I look up to the sky. I'm going to stretch my abs, my lower back, and my quads. And I know when you try this for 2 minutes, it's going to be difficult to hold for 2 minutes. Just don't go past the pain of 7 out of 10. And then you come down and lay in the dead zone on your back for a minute and let the blood flow. That's a lie arch up. It's good for your hip flexors and your abdomens. hip flexors. We're going to do a lot more hip flexors tonight as well. So the next one is for the hip flexors and the quads. And this is probably going to be the most difficult one. And so we're going to have some tools and support. So I'm going to do it from the side view so you can see it first. And then I'll do it face on. So we're going to be working on our quads and our hip flexors. So if you're laying right here, some of you might have pain in your ankles where you can't even sit like this. So you can grab a pillow or a shoe or even something like this, a little pad, to get my feet off the ground so I'm not hurting my ankles. That's one thing. Some of you, like some professional athletes in here, might not be able to go back further than this because you have tightness here. So you might have to put a pillow in between your leg to help. And then I use this little ball, and you can use a chair. But if you can master this quad stretch and hip flexor stretch, you're going to take care of a lot of issues in your body. So the goal is to be able to lay flat on the ground without any support, without the ball or the pillow. So right now, I feel the stretch in my hip flexors and my quads. So I use a pillow underneath my feet, my ankles, just in case you get to a point where it hurts you just to have your ankles stretched out that much, your feet stretched out that much. Use a pillow, and some of you, might not be able to lean back that far, so you can put a pillow in between here to help with that resistance. And then, if you don't have a chair, you don't have a ball, you just use your arms. And the goal here is to get a stretch in your quads and your hip flexors. That's what we're trying to stretch here. And if you do this for 2 minutes, then you come out of the dead zone and lay for a minute, come out of it very slowly, because you're going to have some cramping and some aches in the joints and whatnot. But if you can get to a point where you can do this every day, 3 sets, just imagine how flexible you'll be in 4 weeks or 6 weeks. I know when I first started this, as far as I can go back, was really right about to here, and I get back to about here. So the more and more you do this, the more and more flexible you get to a standard range of motion to where you can, I can't do it yet, but you'll be able to get your back laid flat on the ground. And when you get to that level, well, you're going to be flexible for a long time. So that's the lie back quad stretch. The lying back is stretching out the quads, the hip flexors. So you can use something, even a shoe or a pillow, to put your ankles on so it doesn't hurt. So it allows you to just have a little gap there. So a little pillow underneath your ankles, a little pillow in between your hamstrings and your calves, and then some type of ball or chair so you can get the stretch in this area in the hip flexors and the quads. So I'm going to demonstrate that one more time because I really want you guys to work on this because it's going to be the most challenging one. So I'm going to get my ankles situated there. And if you want to use the pillow, you can. You put the pillow there to help out a little bit. And then just lean back. And the muscles that we want to focus on stretching are the quad muscles and the hip flexors. And you hold this position for 2 minutes in the building phase. This is all the building phase. We're getting to a standard range of motion. And then you come out of it very, very slowly and lie back on your back in the dead zone for a minute to let the blood flow to the joints and muscles. Anybody having fun yet? Hey Dave, hey Bo, good to see you guys here. So again, the science of flexibility, we have 15 lower body that we're going to cover today. We've covered quite a few of them. You guys can watch the recording. Next week we'll do the upper body. There's a building phase and a maintenance phase. During the building phase, you hold the stretch for 2 minutes, and then you lay on your back for a minute in the dead zone and let the blood flow. So the next one is a front lunge. The front lunge is really, the front lunge is to stress the opposite flexor, hip flexor. So when I front lunge, I'm going to do the side view, and then I'm going to do the front view. So here, I want to make sure that my heel is on the ground. I don't want my toe up. I want my heel on the ground. And I want to make sure, so my heel's on the ground. I'm stretching the opposite, this leg, the opposite leg, the hip flexor here. So I'm here, straight up. This leg's on this heel, the right heel is on the ground, and I'm stretching my left hip flexor. So from the side view, the front view, straight up here, I'm stretching out this hip flexor here. You would hold this stretch for 2 minutes to stretch out this hip flexor. This is the front lunge. You hold it for 2 minutes, and then you lay down in the dead zone for a minute. Now I'm going to switch legs, and I want to show again where the weight is on this lunge. Some people have me lunging here and out here. The purpose of the lunge is to stretch out the opposite hip flexor. That's what the purpose is for us in golf. So I have my left heel down. I stretch out this rear leg as far as it will go, and then up, straight up, up and down. So now I'm lunging forward, and I'm stretching out the opposite hip flexor. Other muscle joints are being stretched, but the primary use of the front lunge is to stretch out the opposite hip flexor. So with my left foot forward, I'm stretching out my right hip flexor. And then from here, I would simply take my opposite hand, place it down, and I would go to the side and do a lunge. Now this is more advanced, it's getting more difficult, but the whole right side is straight, and I'm getting a full stretch from this entire area all the way down this way. So I went from a front lunge to a side lunge. And I'll come back and do that again. Now, I'm just demonstrating that so you know how to do it, but you're probably not going to do it until you get past this area here. Just the front lunge to stretch out the hip flexor. Right foot forward, left foot back, stretching out the left hip flexor. I hold that stretch for 2 minutes, and I can simply place my left hand, my left leg, left hip flexor is being stretched. I can place my left hand on the ground, and I can rotate my whole body to the side. Now I still have a straight line here. This is the side lunge. Some of you might have to put your arm down here because of your range of motion right now. So front lunge to the side lunge, and then I can go right into the groin lunge. want to switch foots first. Get a sip of water. So we got the front lunge, the side lunge, and the groin lunge. The groin lunge, I'm going to cover it tonight. It's definitely a tough one. Matter of fact, I'm not going to cover it tonight. I think if you guys just do the front lunge, because it's going to be a challenge, the goal here is just open up the hip flexors, and you can simply do this front lunge, and stretch out this hip, and you go right into the side lunge. We'll go this way, side lunge this way, just like this. So those are more advanced. So there's 3 lunges, front lunge, side lunge, groin lunge. At this stage in the first 12 weeks of our fitness program, I was just focused on the front lunge because those are the muscles that we really want to get going as the hip flexors. Then we also have what's called a frog squat lean. So let me see if you guys can see me on camera here. Frog squat. So I'm going to get down in the squat. And just from the side view, I'll put my hands behind here. And this is a frog squat lean. This opens up the groins. This is more of an advanced one. Earlier when we did the sit cross lean, from here we did the sit cross lean. And then we did the groin lean. And then this more advanced one is the frog squat lean, to where we're stretching out our lumbar and our groins. And this is a great one to hold for 2 minutes. You hold it for 2 minutes. Don't hang out of 7 out of 10. This is more of a challenging exercise, more of the advanced level. And then once you're done with that, you lay down for a minute in the dead zone. That's a frog squat lean. I can feel it in my groin right now. And then we'll get into 2 of the hamstrings. There's a basic and advanced one. The basic hamstring is feet shoulder width apart. Bend down straight to the ground. And what you're going, a lot of you guys can't even touch your toes now, so just take your time doing these. Standing, hamstring, just like this. And you're going to get to a point where you can actually touch your nose onto your knee. Right? That's how you know you're at a good range of motion, when you touch your nose to the knee. Touch your nose to the knee. So that's the goal of this stretch. It might take you a week, it might take you 6 weeks, it might take you 12 weeks. So we're stretching out our hamstrings. You hold that for 2 minutes. Touch your nose to your kneecap. Touch your nose to your kneecap. You hold that stretch for 2 minutes. Lay down the dead zone because you want to let the blood flow there and your lower back. Because then once you're able to touch your nose with your feet shoulder width apart, touch your nose on your kneecap, then we get into the advanced one, which is the standing spread. And since there's 3 muscles on each hamstring, so what I can do is I can go to the outside and touch the nose, go to the inside, and then go to the center, and then go to the inside. And same thing with this leg. I can go to the outside stretch, I go to the inside stretch, and then touch my kneecap. That's more of a challenging stretch. You know, there's 24 range of motion. Some are basic, some are advanced. At the end here, I'm going to tell you which ones you should do to get a basic range of motion. So we got the standing front hamstrings. Touch your nose to your kneecap. Hold that stretch for 2 minutes, guys. It's imperative that you understand that you hold every stretch for 2 minutes and then come on and lay down the dead zone so you get the blood to flow the muscles and joints. And then the last one, which is the standing side bend. Basically, I'm going to take my arm, put it up here, and I'm going to bend right to the side. This is my obliques, my lats, my TFL, my IT band, all the way like this. Hold this for 2 minutes. And then you come out of it, lay down in the dead zone. I'm past the building phase, I'm in the maintenance phase on a lot of this stuff. But for you guys that are just starting this, we switch to the left side, and you would hold this stretch for 2 minutes, and then lay down for a minute in the dead zone. Building phase is 2 minute stretch, lay down for a minute to rest, and let the blood flow. So those are the 15 lower body stretches. Any questions for anybody so far? Because I'm going to tell you exactly what you're going to work out best. So in this sidebar here, in the notes, step number 1, standing calf lean. So no matter what stretches you do, you're always going to do the calf stretch. You want to stretch out your calves and the arches of your feet. Number 2, sit cross lean. I would master the sit cross lean. Demonstrate that one more time. When I first started the sit cross lean, this is as far as I could go. Right here, I had pain in my knees, my ankles. You guys are going to have pain in your joints. Right now, you're going to have pain in your joints. But the more and more times you do this, and you hold this for 2 minutes here, and you do it in a week like this, and all of a sudden you're down here. So sit cross lean is the key to the foundation. Do it in certain orders. So this is the first one after you stretch out your calves. Sit cross lean. Next one I'm going to circle is the sit cross lean to the side. So number 2 and number 3 are imperative. Sit cross lean to the side. I put my elbow on the side here, and I'm going to lean my neck to the side naturally, and I'm going to press down on my opposite leg and stretch out this entire side. Sit cross lean to the side. Then we switch sides, put your elbow on the ground here, lean to the side. So you're going to stretch out your calves. You're going to do number 2, sit cross lean. Number 3, sit cross lean to the side. Windshield wiper, number 5. And lie leg over number 6. So lie leg over number 6. This is an easier one. Let me make sure you guys can see here. Put the camera back down. Lay flat down, bring up one leg, and lie right over and stretch. This is lie leg over. Bring up the other leg, lie right over and stretch. Keep your shoulder blade on the ground. That's the lie leg over, that's number 6. The windshield wiper, very simple. Windshield wiper. Feet are up by the butt, legs down to one side, pull the bottom leg out, put it on the leg, and stretch. Face on view. Roll both legs to one side, pull the bottom leg out, put it on top of the other leg. Put your hand on the knee and foot to drag it down, and I can press with my knee and stretch out areas up here. I can press down with my ankle. Stretch out IT band. And the goal here is to get the knee, the bottom knee, to get the knee to touch the ground. Once you get your knee to touch the ground, you've got a good range of motion. Still a little bit of ways to go. But I got this whole stretch right after here. Windshield wiper. One of my favorites, windshield wiper. So we got windshield wiper. So we got 2 and 3, which is a sit cross lean, and sit cross lean to the side. We got 5 and 6, windshield wiper, and lie leg over. Number 8, lie back quad stretch. Lie back quad stretch. You guys got to do this one. It's going to be super painful, but it's got to be done. It's got to be done. Might take you some time just to figure out what tools you need. You can get a pillow between your hamstrings and your calves, put a pillow underneath your ankles, under your feet. You're going to want to stretch out quads and the hip flexors. 2 minutes. Hold it for 2 minutes. Come out of it slowly. Land in dead zone. You got to do that one. Number 8 is really, really important. We got the front lunge, number 9. We'll focus on that one only. Front lunge. I put my right foot, my ankles on the ground. I'm going to push back my left leg. I'm going to stand straight up like this, and I'm stretching my left hip flexor right now. I'm lunging forward. Yes, I'm stretching other muscles, but I'm really getting the hip flexor open right now. Front lunge. Hold it for 2 minutes. It's not easy. And then come out of it slowly in the dead zone, lay down. Switch legs. Left leg is on the ground. Position the rear foot back. Just like this. Stretching out this hip flexor. Hold it for 2 minutes. Front lunge. Hold it for 2 minutes. Come out of it slowly. Go in the dead zone. This is all the building phase. I like the frog squat lean. It's a little bit challenging. I'm simply going to squat. I'm going to squat down, put my hands behind my feet. I'm just going to squat down and lean. Stress out my groin. And when I lean forward, stress out my lumbar. Frog squat lean. Hold it for 2 minutes. Side view, squat. Hands are right through here. Squatting straight down, and then I'm going to lean. Frog squat lean. Number 12. And then we have number 13, standing hamstrings front. For a lot of you guys that couldn't touch your toes during the fitness evaluation, this is a must. And this is a must for everybody. You hardly ever stretch your hamstrings. So the easiest way to look at it is shoulder width apart. Keep my legs straight. Legs are straight, not bent. A lot of you guys on the test have bent knees and went like this. Touch your toes. You got to keep your legs straight. Stick your ass out. Bend down. Lean to one side. Attempt to get your nose to touch the kneecap. If you're 6 inches away, great. Be 6 inches away today, because in 6 weeks you're not. You hold this stretch for 2 minutes. Come to the other side. Get your nose to touch the kneecap. If you can, if my nose is this far away today, great. That's okay. It's a building phase. 2 minutes in this stretch. Today, and 2 minutes next week, and 2 minutes next week, and 2 minutes next week. And now you got this range of motion. And then number 15, standing side bends. This covers the obliques, the lats, the IT band, and the TFL. So right from here, my hand behind my head here, and I'm going to lean this way. Everything's leaning this way. Open this entire area up. Hold this stretch for 2 minutes. Switch sides. Oh, this side's tighter. Hold this stretch for 2 minutes. Two minutes, 1 minute dead zone. 2 minute stretch, 1 minute dead zone. So there's a building phase. Today we covered 15 range of motions. There are a few of them. Some were too advanced, so we didn't even bother. Because of the lunges, side lunge, groin lunge, front lunge, really just focus on the front lunge. So the exercises that all you guys are on this call and in the program, focus number 1 on stretching out your calves before you start this. Get on something that you can stretch, arch your feet and stretch your calf. Arch your feet, stretch your calf. Then in the side chat here, there are numbers attached to them. You're going to do number 2, sit, cross, lean. Number 3, sit cross, lean to the side. Number 5, windshield wiper. Number 6, lie leg over. Number 8, lie back quad stretch with the pillows. Number 9, front lunge to stretch out, excuse me, to stretch out your hip flexor, the opposite hip flexor that you're lunging from. Number 10, frog squat lean. That's if you want to get frisky. It's a good stretch. Standing hamstring, face on. Touch your nose to each knee. That's the goal. Once you do that, you're going to be fine for the rest of your life. And then the standing side bend. How many times a week should we be doing this? Well, when I did it, Bo, I did it for 6 weeks straight. And I did it every day unless my body said, hey, you need a break. So sometimes I did it 4 days in a row and took a day or two off because I was outstretched. I needed a rest. Because remember, you're going to be putting your joints and muscles in certain areas that haven't been since you're fucking 6 years old. So just listen to your body. You know, you can do it 5 days a week. You can do it 7 days a week. It just depends what your body's telling you to do. But I did this for 6 weeks and I was like golden. I did that sit cross lean more than anything because I had lower back pains. Okay? And I no longer have lower back pain because I stress it out every single day for 6 weeks straight, twice a day. Just that one exercise. I did all the other range of motion, but I really focused on that because I knew where I had issues was the lower back. Great question though. Anybody else have a question? You know, and again, Bo, use the 48-hour rule. You know, do it for 2 to 3, 4 days hard. You know, good stretching, 2 minutes. You know, if you do 2 minutes, 3 sets, and do that all the way through, take 2 days off. Let your body recover. I don't see any other questions. Any other questions? Any comment? What am I missing here? I want to find out how I see your comment. I'm trying to find your questions. I can't see them, so just give me a second. How many times are we doing this? Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. If you guys don't have any questions, remember, at any time that you are stuck, we got to look at 3 things. Well, let's back up a second. If you're stuck, get on my calendar, send me a message, let me support you. But I want to go back to the things we do in live training. For example, when I did the live training on putting, you know, how to maximize your time. That's not the training. There are several trainings in the members area where you're going to have to go through and train on how to read a green, train on how to hit your line, and train on how to control your distance. And then I've taken that training and I put it into the Facebook group to where you can go out there and use the Clip Notes version once you're good. So you've got to learn how to do those 3 things: hitting your line, reading your green, and controlling your distance. And there's trainings of how to do that. Some of you guys are skipping the training, just watching the Facebook Live and thinking that's going to be the solution. That's a fucking Band-Aid. So just make sure that you go through the training, take notes, and then go train it, and then ask me for help when you're stuck. Because all of you can be great putters. All of you. You just got to learn how to read a green, learn how to hit your line, and learn how to control your distance. And that training that I did maximizes your time once you've got those skills dialed in to where you can go out 30 minutes every 2 weeks and just sharpen your blade when it comes to putting. That's how you maximize your time. But you got to know how to do those skills. You know, if you're asking me, well, where do I put the ball in the stance? Well, if you did the training, the ball in the stance is a byproduct of you controlling your face and controlling your path. You're going to find out just by doing the drills where the ball should be, especially if you use the ruler drill. If the ball is way up in front of your stance and the ball keeps falling off the left, well, either my face is jacked up or maybe I should move the ball back. The ball keeps moving off to the right, maybe the ball's too far back in your stance. So please just do yourself a favor, go through the trainings, take notes, watch them again, and then ask me for help and support and questions, because I'm here to help you. But all of you guys got invited in this program because you have the desire, you have the talent, but you also are coachable. So you got to do exactly what we tell you to do because it's going to work for you. So next week we'll be covering the upper body, how to get the range of motion in the upper body. Today we covered the lower body, 15 range of motions. There are certain ones that I want you to do. In the sidebar here, all of them are listed. All the instructions are listed. There's a building phase. In the building phase, you hold the stretch for 2 minutes and never go past the pain of 7 out of 10. And then once you're done with that 2 minutes, you lay flat on your back in the dead zone, let the blood flow, and you do it, and you rinse and repeat, and then you go to the next exercise. So if you have time to do it once, just do it once. If you have time to do it 3 times, do it 3 times. If you have lower back issues like I did it 6 times a day, just that first stretch, because that's where most of my stuff was, in addition to the other exercises. So that's it, man. Let's rock. I'll be doing a training this Saturday covering the downswing in the first part of the swing. I'm sorry, the second part of the swing and the downswing and the follow through. So remember, during the winter months, we've got continuing education. We're building a foundation on a grip, and then the stance and posture, and then the takeaway and the downswing, and then you do that for 7 weeks, building on building on building. So by the time you get to the second week, you've got the grip twice, 2 weeks, and the stance and posture 1 week. By the time you get to the third thing, which is the take, now you've got your grip 3 weeks, your stance and posture 2 weeks, and then the other thing, and then we get to the last one. So 7 weeks, you're going to practice your grip for 7 weeks, and everything else 6 weeks, and then 5 weeks, and then 4 weeks, and then 3 weeks. And now you've got this whole new motor pattern of what a full swing should look like. And then we take what your limitations are in those swing reviews, and you go train those new motor patterns. So you guys got my calendar. We need help. I'll see you on Saturday. Ping me if you need help. Get on my calendar. I'm here for you guys. Let's rock and let's shoot 60s and low 70s. Talk to you soon.